So, which religion is the true one? Good morning, my friends, and welcome back to the back deck on a beautiful day. I waited until that motorcycle went by before I started recording, so you wouldn't have to hear that. And welcome to my good cup of coffee as well. I love coffee. I wanted to hop on and talk about the concept of which religion is true. You know, most people don't realize how many religions there are in the world, and it's really impossible to count all of them. But documented, there's over 4,000 religions or schools of thought, spiritual schools of thought, over 4,000 of them. So which one is true? Of all of them, there's only one that subjugates and says, you have to think like we do, and that's Christianity. Now, according to statistics, 30% of the world is Christian. It's obviously the biggest religion in the world. As I've said many times, of the 30%, less than half are practicing. So they're not really following it. And over the past 20 years, they've lost 54% of their congregations. So which religion is true? It's an interesting question because most people are searching for that exact answer, trying to figure out what they're supposed to believe. And which religion is true? The one that you choose to be true. All the truth comes from within you. Whatever feels right to you. And when you feel yourself questioning or feeling something that doesn't feel true, that's the moment you go, oh, that part of this isn't for me. But once you release control to a religion and say, I have to believe everything they say, you'll find you'll struggle with the dogmas. You'll struggle with the doctrines because they don't make sense. They don't tie into you personally. And I don't mean make sense in a broad sense. I mean, for you personally, it doesn't make sense to you. You'll find your struggles with, don't eat meat on Friday. You'll find your struggles with, bow down and pray 5 times a day or 3 times a day. You'll find you'll struggle with all of these ideas of this is the only way, right? And you look at it from the perspective of what do I feel to be true? I recently had a woman who was coming out of a Christian religion, and she says she was actually saying, "Is it okay for me not to go to church anymore?" And it's interesting because if you think about the perspective of that, is it okay? She was asking permission to not go to church anymore because the church made her feel like she needed permission. The church made her feel like it was wrong of her to even think that way. But her discernment was saying, I don't need to go to church. So she says, what do I do? Told her, I said, I haven't gone to a church in that way, to practice a religion since my 20s. And I seem to be doing okay. And she said, oh, okay. And you saw her exhale. You saw her release her anxiety and stress about it. It was because somebody else said, no, I haven't been to a church since I was in my 20s. When you think about it from the perspective of which religion is true, you have to then start to saying, are all the rest false? Are all the rest just wrong? Why are there all these other religions if they're all wrong, right? And so you start to look at it from the perspective of, is it loving of me to say that they're wrong? Is it loving of me to judge them for their beliefs? Is it loving of me to try to scare them to mine? Tell them they're going to burn in hell if they don't get right with Jesus, right? That's all just fear-based stuff. Well, perfect love drives out fear. That's what the Bible says, right? God is love. That's what the Bible says. The Bible also says God is a vengeful and jealous God. So vengeful and jealous, both are products of fear. So if God is love, it's not possible. So there's your biggest contradiction in the Bible right there. Is God love or is God vengeance and jealousy? because that's a contradictory choice that you have to make. Do I believe in a loving God, or do I believe in a vengeful and jealous God? You know, Einstein once said something, and I'm going to paraphrase it. I don't know the exact quote, that, the greatest choice you'll ever make is, do I live in a friendly world or an unfriendly one? And that's exactly it. If you believe that God is love, then God would not judge you for not believing in a way that is contradictory to a specific man-made religion. Because all religions are man-made. All religions are man-made. There is no right one except for the one that's right for you, the one that you choose, the one that you decide feels right to you. But it always comes back to the feeling. My mom found great comfort in the Catholic Church, right? I know a lot of priests who were hiding who they were in the Catholic Church. There were a lot of gay priests that I knew hiding in the Catholic Church because the church had told them that they're wrong, and they got the holy orders, so they shouldn't be interested in loving the way that they want to love. But if God is love, why would he judge that? Love in any form is not wrong, because that's God. It's an expression of God. When you come back to the space of which religion is right, which religion is true, it always comes back to you. You make your choice. Now, here's my truth. I don't believe in any religion. I'm not Christian. I'm not Muslim. I'm not Hindu. I'm not Buddhist. I've found beautiful things in all of them. I've found the concept that what we think we become, we create our world, as Buddha would say. Our thoughts are creative. I found love and kindness in all of them. My religion is simple. My religion is kindness, the Dalai Lama. He who knows not kindness has no faith, the Prophet Muhammad, right? I found beauty and love in all of them. I found that God is love in all of them. So if that's the case, then God must be too big and too beautiful to be encompassed by any one school of thought or religion, in my opinion. And so to me, when I sit on this back deck, enjoying this beautiful sunny sky, talking to you lovely people, sipping this amazing cup of coffee, thank you very much, I'm living God. And why am I living God? Because I'm doing things I love, and God is love. I'm just leaning into the loving aspects of being in that feeling, thinking I'm doing the things I love, believing the outcome of my life is a product of my love. That's what's true for me. I don't need a doctrine or a dogma or a building or a priest to tell me to do 10 Hail Marys and walk outside to feel good about myself. I just feel good about myself. And I go out in the world and I look at the people around me and I realize that they're one with me. And that can be found everywhere too. Whatsoever you do the least to my brothers, that you do unto me. This expression of consciousness. Hinduism says that we are the Sit-Sat Ki, the individual sparks of consciousness within God, which means we're all one, which means that person over there who might have a different personality than you is a aspect of the God in the world. That's what I believe, right? But it's up to you to make your choice what's true for you. Your truth is your truth. As I often say on this channel, I only speak my truth on this channel. I don't expect you to take anything I say as a fact. What I hope you'll see is someone who's living a beautiful, loving life, and that maybe you'll try it out. And if it works for you, great. If it doesn't work for you, great. Because it always comes back to your truth. What do you believe? There is no one true religion unless you believe it's the one true religion. But then the question I would ask is, once you chose to believe that, how did you treat everybody else? Whatsoever you do to the least of my brothers, that you do unto me. So if you treat somebody unkindly, is that religion really working for you? A couple of years ago, I had someone leave a comment on one of my videos saying his exact words were something like, you seem to be such a kind person, and it looks like you have a good heart, but I would be wrong if I didn't try to save you and bring you back to Jesus as a born-again Christian. And then he finished that statement with, I'm sure that I'm going to be crucified on this channel by your followers. And for saying that. And then I said, if anybody attacks you on this channel, they will be banned from this channel. You came on here loving and respectful from your personal truth. And I respect that. But you didn't try to get hardcore and convince me. You just offered an off ramp. If anybody, I don't care what their belief was, did something negative or harmful or said something mean to you, they would be banned from the channel, not you, because you were showing love and compassion and respect. That's God. That is the direct essence of God in my mind. And when you are expressing something that is not loving, not caring, that is judgmental or hurtful or hateful, I think that you must be in a really bad place. And then that would be where I would ask you to question yourself. Do I really want to treat people this way? Do I really want to be that unloving? And ask yourself, do I live in a friendly world or an unfriendly world? Am I the friendly part or the unfriendly part? Because that's really, in my belief, a direct reflection of what your faith says, what your truth is. And so lean into your truth. If your religion feels right to you and you've found love and compassion for all of your fellow men and women in the world, then that's wonderful. But it always comes down to you finding your truth, not having one dictated to you. And that's my thought on this. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.